Welcome. Thank you for showing up early. I appreciate that. Punctuality is a trait that we look for in our employees here. Please take a seat. Did you have any difficulty finding the place? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. We actually redid our signage to make the business more visible because Google Maps kept on getting people lost just like that. So thank you again for showing up early despite all of that. Did you want any water or coffee before we get started? Now, before we proceed, do you have any concerns with this interview being recorded for posterity and future hiring decisions? You do need to sign here to verify that you consent to being recorded purely for internal and business purposes only. Nothing in this interview can be used without your permission. It won't be posted externally or anything without you being signing another document allowing us to do that. So nothing in this interview can be used externally for promotional purposes without your permission, and it would require another signature. So don't worry about that. You won't see this on YouTube or anything like that. I will be typing down notes and information as well, but lately in our process of going paperless and for more comprehensive data purposes, we have been recording our interviews. So before going forward, do you verbally consent to having this interview recorded? All right, thank you. Now, we have an extensive interview process here at the World Wide Wicket company. It normally consists of 2 to 3 interviews here, and the interview process today should not take more than 30 minutes. So do you have any concerns with that time frame? There aren't any exceptions to the 2 to 3 interview rule put into place by management. There is no exceptions to that. The minimum interviews we would conduct is 2. Even if that first interview goes splendid and the candidate is exactly what we're looking for, we would still want to conduct a second interview. That's just company policy put in place by our management. This is an open interview, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any and all questions relating to the position, of course. I am going to start off with a little bit of background information about the company. Here at the World Wide Wicket Company, we pride ourselves as being the industry-leading brand of wickets. From manufacturing, distribution, promotion, operations management, and even including research and development. There is no other company that has such a comprehensive process providing the best wickets, and we are the only company that have full vertical and horizontal business practices to capitalize upon our reputation and brand when it comes to corporate efficacy and the environmental impact of wicket production. As I'm sure you are aware, we are trying to hire and fill this mid-level assistant associate production agent manager position. Yes, I did read in your resume that you previously were the executive manager of operations for the previous company that you worked for. In fact, I want to ask you, what is your reason for leaving your previous position? That is interesting. It is important to have room for growth and new opportunities. What interested you about this position? Now, you applied for the mid-level assistant associate production agent manager position. Is there any reason that you didn't apply for the lead level assistant associate production agent manager position or even an associate production agent manager position? Just skip the assistant part entirely. It is awesome to learn on the job, but why did you interview for this position rather than the higher tier? according to your resume, you have over 10 years experience in executive operations management. There would be on-the-job learning for both positions, especially since this is a different industry than what you've worked for in the past. And I understand you're looking for growth and upward mobility. So did you want to change this interview to be for the lead assistant, associate production agent manager position rather than the mid-level? All right, well then we'll keep this interview at the mid-level then. So what about the World Wide Wicket company makes you want to work here? I didn't realize that. So you actually already know a lot of our processes. If you were helping us on the back end with distribution and operations as a subcontractor, you already know how a lot of our operations works already. And so you applied for this position because... I agree. You fit all the things of this position and more. You're eager to work, experienced in the field, you have training and understanding, and you actually use our products, which is a surprise because I don't even use the products that we make. So it says here on your resume that you have 3 PhDs, 1 in economics, 1 in business management, and 1 in psychology, and that you're a licensed therapist, and that you have a pharmacy tech license. Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. I definitely misread that on your resume. So you didn't complete the pharmacy tech education to get certified, but you did go to school for it. Now, you care about growth and learning and enhancing your skills. What new skills or experience are you excited to obtain and add to your roster and catalog of current skills and abilities? Okay. So, what are you excited to do here that you're passionate about? We do that, yes. We welcome someone who wants to maximize their influence within the company. We have such a strict hiring process because we want to make sure that everyone we welcome into the company can excel in the position we hire them for, and to make sure that they can work well with the rest of the company corporate structure. It is important to get to know your coworkers and operate in a shorthand to maximize efficiency, and that is exactly what this and the lead, or even other production agent manager positions, are all about, is that working together, that camaraderie, and supporting each other. Now, would you consider yourself a risk taker? Why? Interesting. And with over 10 years in management, how do you manage to do that? If you had to risk money or time, which would you risk? Well, why? that is an interesting perspective. Based on what I see here this morning, can you give me a previous example of when you made a calculated risk of time for a relatively equivalent reward? Please do not use this interview as an example. So what would you consider your greatest strengths? Then on the other side, what would you consider your greatest weaknesses? Yes, I'm sure you've been asked this question many times. It's a classic for a reason. I see. Mind elaborating on that? Does that happen often? Huh. Interesting. So how do you stay organized with multiple projects going on at the same time? So what kind of information is most reliable to you? So why do you trust that versus other forms of information? That's an interesting perspective. Definitely in knowing the corporate world and how it works, I can see that being very beneficial, especially in this mid-level assistant associate production agent manager position. Now, with the mid-level assistant associate production agent manager position, leadership is critical. You will be leading a team, but also be reporting to multiple different positions above you, such as the associate production agent managers, the lead production agent managers, the executive production agent manager, the executive production manager, the lead agent managers, the executive agent manager, the lead production managers, the assistant to the executive production agent manager, the assistant to the executive agent manager, the assistant to the executive production manager, and the lead agent production managers, as well as the executive agent productions manager, the assistant to the executive agent production manager, and the chief operating officer. How do you handle communicating with multiple different departments, leads, and reporting to different managers and bosses all at the same time while running a team of your own to assist in the management of production agents? How do you handle working on a team with diverse perspectives? Years in previous operations management, I'm sure, has helped you develop those skills. How would your previous team that you worked with describe your leadership style? All right, awesome. How do you handle feedback or constructive criticism? That's a great answer. Pretty much almost a textbook answer. Can you tell me about a specific time when that happened, when you made a mistake, had to receive feedback, and then how you were able to, like you said, implement it and make a correction to learn from that mistake? That's great. Why should we hire you? All right, last question for the day. What is your 5-year plan? That is another, I wouldn't say textbook answer. That was very well prepared. I'm sure that you're used to being asked that question over and over again. Yeah, it's a classic for a reason, especially when I'm provided with such a detailed, great answer such as that. Well, those were all the questions I had for today. Did you have any questions for me? We usually have a check-in after 30 days, so it's not a formal evaluation, more of a performance maintenance. How are things going? So we do a check-in with you formally, but not with a list like with your normal evaluation. Performance evaluation would be done and performed after your probationary period of 90 days. And then we have an annual evaluation in the month that you are hired. So the evaluations are all conducted by your lead report manager with occasional supervision from HR such as me. I can't guarantee that I would or that it's going to be your lead manager, but it will be either one of us or sometimes both, depending on how good that evaluation is. With the position you are applying to, there will be 2 performance evaluations per year, one from the associate that you are assisting, and another from the lead executive manager of that department. And as I did mention, I might be in one or both of those interviews or evaluations, depending on what the content is. Any other questions? Yes, we have an unlimited paid time off policy, but this position requires being able to work on specific holidays as required by the position. There is on-call required for this position, but you would normally be provided advance notice of that since it has to be set up on your time card if there's any on-call work that you do. On-call doesn't happen often, but if you're going to move up in this company in the way that I would expect based on your previous work experience, so that could occur with this position. So you might be an on-call for this position. Last chance before I wrap this up, do you have any other questions for me? Well, thank you so much for interviewing with us today. You should hear back from us in a couple days. As I mentioned, we have many candidates that are interviewing for this position. You will either receive an email from me or a phone call. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email at asmhrinterviewrp@gmail.com. I know that feeling as soon as the interview is over and you get home and think, oh no, I should have asked them about such and such. If you have any questions at all, please don't worry. Please email me and I will reply as soon as I can. You can also please leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video. Fill out that survey on your way out, and you can hit the bell notification to make sure that you don't miss any messages from me about the status of this interview. Again, check your inbox and have your phone ready. You will get an email or a phone call in a couple of days. Thank you again, and have a great week.